This year I tapped my maple trees on a lark and I wound up stumbling into a whole maple syrup operation. So here's everything I learned this year and everything I'm gonna do differently next year. Maple syrup is a very exciting prospect because it is calorie dense. It's not nutrient dense, but it is calorie dense. And if the goal of the homestead is to grow as much of my own food as possible, that matters a lot. I don't eat meat and I'm probably never going to be able to grow grains at scale, so it's very possible that maple syrup will be my biggest calorie producer year over year. It turns out that you don't need a ton of maple trees to produce a meaningful amount of maple syrup. I have about 15 trees, maybe 20 if you include the ones on the other side of my property, and I only tapped 6 of them. In a month and a half of collection, I brought in 100 gallons of sap, which would boil into 2.5 gallons of syrup, which is about 20,000 calories worth of syrup. I did almost no research before starting. It really was on a whim, so I had a very steep learning curve. I ended up wasting about 40 gallons worth of sap because it went bad. I just got backlogged and I wasn't able to get to it, and I didn't have enough capacity for cold storage. I missed out on even more sap by not managing my collection schedule well enough. If I had just emptied the buckets more frequently, I would have been able to bring in probably twice as much sap. On my best boiling day, I boiled about 15 gallons of sap in a cinder block evaporator that I put together for about $40 worth of materials. I'm heavily time limited because I work during the week, and on the weekends I need to multitask with like 1,000 other farm chores. So I'm thinking about investing in a barrel type evaporator for next year to hopefully make this process a little more efficient. In the very long run, of course, I can't help but dream of a sugar shack, but I should probably hold out on that until I've produced more than a couple gallons of syrup. So the plan for next year, I'm going to buy more taps because then I can tap more of my trees. I'm also going to research and possibly invest in an evaporator. So if you have any experience with them or any advice, let me know. And most importantly, I'm going to boil earlier and more often. I waited a long time to start boiling, and if I had just gotten started earlier, I wouldn't have had as much of a backlog and I wouldn't have had as much waste. For my whole life, my dream homestead has included a maple forest so that I could learn how to make my own maple syrup. And I thought that I was sacrificing that part of the dream when I bought this property because not every property can have everything you want. Or at least that's what I thought. Obviously, this one has it all.